the Australian tactic, the Australian tactics, the Australian covert tactic, the Australian covert tactics, the Australian overt tactic, the Australian overt tactics, the Australian indirect tactic, the Australian indirect tactics, the Australian direct tactic, the Australian direct tactics, the Australian slow-paced tactic, the Australian slow-paced tactics, the Australian fast-paced tactic, the Australian fast-paced tactics, the Australian soft tactic, the Australian soft tactics, the Australian firm tactic, the Australian firm tactics, the Australian hard tactic, the Australian hard tactics, the Australian beginning tactic, the Australian beginning tactics, the Australian middling tactic, the Australian middling tactics, the Australian ending tactic, the Australian ending tactics, the Australian basic tactic, the Australian basic tactics, the Australian intermediate tactic, the Australian intermediate tactics, the Australian advanced tactic, the Australian advanced tactics, the Australian private tactic, the Australian private tactics, the Australian public tactic, the Australian public tactics, the Australian silent tactic, the Australian silent tactics, the Australian written tactic, the Australian written tactics, the Australian photo tactic, the Australian photo tactics, the Australian audio tactic, the Australian audio tactics, the Australian video tactic, the Australian video tactics, the Australian past tactic, the Australian past tactics, the Australian present tactic, the Australian present tactics, the Australian future tactic, the Australian future tactics,